Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 20. We're going to be continuing on with our MotoGP Classic Championship, and it's round 8 right here in Motegi for the Japanese GP. So starting in pole position is Gardner, Abe, Rossi on the front row, Williams, Biaggi, Kuczynski is on the second row, Roberts Jr., McCoy, Doohan, Crivier, Rainey and Schwantz fill up the fourth row, and Eddie Lawson on his lonesome on row 5. So we now wait for the lights to go out with Kevin Schwantz. The lights are out now. Lap 1 of 8 is underway right here in this Japanese GP. Lots of wheelies from Rainey and McCoy. Schwantz goes in between two riders there. Bloody hell, that's a big moment and a half. Getting sandwiched between Doohan and co. Very, very eager start from Kevin Schwantz. We need a good start, and the worst thing possible is we do not want Alex Crivier to get to the front. Of course, he was dominant, or he has been dominant, until he met his demise in Brno. As Kenny Roberts Jr. just pushes Schwantz a little bit wide there. As Rossi, he got his first podium last time out. Sure to be many, many more for him in the future, I'm certain. As we now go round the outside, or probably rather in the inside, or trying to go in the inside of McWilliams, but it didn't happen. Schwantz still had to sit back. And then, oh my goodness, a familiar foe there. Wayne Rainey is alongside. Oh, a bit of contact between Rainey and Schwantz. We really don't need to see another tete-a-tete from these two gentlemen. Of course, it did hot up in Mugello, and it has been heating up a couple of times, but it hasn't come to fruition since that moment in Mugello. Now behind the Aprilia of Jeremy Williams, as we go around the outside. We did just touch the grass there, so do be careful on that part, as it looks like Gardner got the dream start. Kenny Roberts Jr. is up there as well, and Abe as well in his home Grand Prix. Brilliant result for him last time out in Brno. He took the podium. He took third place just behind Valentino Rossi. In fact, Alex Crivier is nowhere to be seen right now. He's down in 11th place, so that is great for us. And as far as the championship goes for now, but looks like McWilliams, Rainey, they're coming for Schwantz's 5th place. Rainey, can he go around the outside? That'd be a brave move if I ever did see one. Doesn't happen there. Now we've got the tight left-hander in a moment's time. As Rainey comes with him, Rainey's gone down! Why, Wayne Rainey? He just can't let it go. Oh my goodness, what a mistake from Wayne Rainey. It's the first lap, my friend. As Biaggi leads from Gardner, Roberts, Abe, Williams, Lawson, Rossi, Doohan, McCoy and Crivier are your top 10 currently. But what on earth was that by Wayne Rainey? He has well and truly scuppered our chances of a podium here. Motegi is not my best track. I tend to struggle quite a bit on it. But my goodness, we had a good start with Kevin Schwantz there. And Wayne Rainey just threw it all away. It was not necessary. It was totally not necessary to make that lunge, that audacious move. Now we're going to have to go for... Now, I mean, we're still in the World Championship lead, but it's certainly not looking as promising as it did. Crivier is just ahead of us on track, so thankfully he's not getting away. Damage limitations now, I guess. I cannot believe Wayne Rainey has just done that. I don't think I was at fault for that one. I think that was completely too much aggression from Wayne Rainey, the fellow American, as we make a little bit of contact with Rossi there. That's not the first time we've made contact with him this season. As John Kuczynski, the man on the Kajiva, is ahead of us. He decided to brake a little bit earlier than we did there for the V corner. I'm sure we will get him on the straight as he touches the outside of the track there, something I tend to do quite often as well, as we do go around the outside. As this Grand Prix has calmed down a little bit, as John Kuczynski makes a wonderful lunge back up at the inside of Kevin Schwantz. Doohan and Crivier battling it out for 8th and 9th place, I believe. Pretty good start for Biaggi, though, leading this Grand Prix. Could this be his first victory of the season? Of course, we've had not that many winners so far. We've had a bunch, but not a massive amount. Mostly familiar faces such as Crivier, Schwantz. Rainey won one as well. Be good to see Gardner taking a victory, and Max Biaggi, one of those two men, or Abe in his own track. I'm sure Abe would love that one very much, as we finally regain 10th place. Doohan's ahead of us, Crivier as well. As long as we stay relatively close to Crivier, it can't be too mad. Like, if we only lose a good couple of championship points, maybe 4 or 5 or 7, I won't be too mad. But losing, if he got onto the podium, and that'd be a good 20 or 25 points, we certainly don't want that. As Mick Doohan will be the next on our sights. And as I've mentioned before, Motegi is not my most favourite track. I'm going to give it my absolute best here, but I'm not guaranteeing something great here. Not as good as what we did in Brno in the wet. Of course, if you haven't seen the video in Brno yet, I would advise you pause this video and go out and check that one first, because I will be mentioning spoilers for that particular Grand Prix. And you know what, I might have already made mention to them, so it might be too late. But McWilliams is going to be the next in our sights, but unfortunately he wasn't going to be able to hold down Crivier. I was rather hoping he would, so I wouldn't have to try and do a lunge on Crivier sooner than later. If I can just stay with Crivier, though, he could potentially get us back forward to the fight at the front, or this pack that's absolutely going for it. Because there's a good couple of riders there. Oh, bit of a moment there onto Jeremy Williams. A bit of aggression, a little bit of frustration brewing there for Kevin Schwantz. Not ideal being pushed across into one of the final corners in this Japanese Grand Prix, because it was also very difficult to just regain the track and just get back on it. It was a very, very difficult moment for Kevin Schwantz there, the man on board the Suzuki, the World Championship leader. As Crivier begins to flick it right, we'll be doing the same for the victory corner. Get into his slipstream and all could be well. Give it everything we've got. Quick look to the pit board on the right-hand side there. We know roughly where we are. We've set a 1:49.725 up on the inside of Alex Crivier for the very first time. Beautiful lunge there. Schwantz back up to 7th place. Not a bad performance so far, considering that hectic start that had already occurred. Traction control onto 2, anti-wheelie still at 4, and engine braking has also been dropped down to 2. I did find after dropping the engine braking was a little bit better. Oh, as Mick Doohan's gone down. Doohan was behind us, and he has had a torrid season this year. Really, really bad stuff. That's another crash for him. I think that's the 3rd or potentially 4th race he's now crashed at. Not great there. For some reason we got handed a penalty there. I don't really know why. Didn't look like I did anything too out of the ordinary there. You know, a little bit of a mistake, but I don't think it was warranted a 2/10 of a second penalty. But nonetheless, it is what it is. 2/10 and 6/10 ahead of Alex Crivier, so, you know, not that bad as things stand for now. Kenny Roberts Jr. ahead of us. He's also on board the Suzuki. Was being on a slightly different Suzuki. Still the 500cc machines, of course. But we'll see how we go on, as we could potentially go around the outside. The AI tends to brake a little bit earlier there. As, ooh, Crivier, just a little bit of a bump on the rear tyre of Kevin Schwantz there. Don't do that again if you wouldn't mind, Alex. I'd rather you did not go anywhere near me at all. As we now make a lunge up on the inside of Kenny Roberts Jr. Is this going to stick? Braking into turn 11. Beautifully done for the 90-degree corner. Excellently done. Kevin Schwantz, beautifully, beautifully executed. As Kenny Roberts Jr. couldn't do anything about that one. But unfortunately, Alex Crivier decided to follow us through on that one, so now we have to deal with Crivier once more. So currently as it stands, Biaggi, Gardner, Arbe, McCoy, Lawson, Schwantz, Crivier, Roberts Jr., John Kaczynski, and then whoever was in 10th place. It might even be Wayne Rainey if he managed to get back on the motorcycle. That is your top 10 as things stand for now on lap 5 of 8. So we are quite a bit away from the podium battle. I think we can say the podium is over. 5th and 4th place, not that much out of reach. Eddie Lawson is there, but I don't think we're going to catch them down anytime soon. Crivier is just about 9/10 behind. Of course, we do have the 2.5 penalty, so we need to finish around 3/10 ahead of him to avoid. Oh, and I've got over the corner again. That was definitely my fault that time, but that's now almost 6/10 of a penalty. That's a bit of a mistake on my half. I do apologise. Just lost a bit of concentration there going into that particular corner. So as things stand, we would still hold on to 6th place, but at the end of the day, losing to Crivier by a point or two is not the end of the world. But at the same time, we don't want to lose any points because we want to win this championship. And being consistent and gaining as much points as possible will help us achieve the goal, achieve the victory of world champion yet again for Kevin Schwantz. Braking again for turn 10 for the hairpin curve. A very, very nice corner. Difficult to get right, but very satisfying to master, let me tell you. 2 seconds down on Eddie Lawson now, so we can pretty much guarantee that we're not going to finish any better than a 6th place, unless disaster and chaos, something or another, occurs in front of us, which I don't think so. Things have calmed down quite a bit now. There could still be fireworks, you never know. It's in Grand Prix racing, there's always a chance of fireworks, let me tell you. So hang fire for that one. It's still Biaggi leads from Gardner and Arbe. That's your podium as things stand. Gary McCoy, Lawson is not going to be close enough to have a bit of a lunge, although it has bunched up a little bit. It's not It's not like a Moto3 race, but it's somewhat together. A couple of bike lengths here and there, so who knows yet? Let's not lose focus as of yet. Oh, we've gone wide for turn 3. Kevin Schwantz, just when I said let's not lose focus, we run it straight into the gravel. We now exit turn 4 with a very dirty rear tyre. And Crivier managed to pinch another couple of points off us there. That's a big mistake on our behalf. I do apologise. Pit crew will be a little bit disheartened with that one. Not ideal chucking it into the gravel, but at least one thing, we didn't chuck the bike over. We still have the bike and we're still using the bike and we can still finish in 7th place. So, yeah, it's not the best, is it? But damage limitations this race was going to be. I knew Motegi was going to be a tough one. Oh no, something's happened to Wayne Gardner. Oh my goodness, what's going on over there? Oh my goodness, carnage! Gary McCoy was involved as well. 2 men are down. What on earth has gone on in this Grand Prix? We're now up into 5th place, ladies and gentlemen. A huge moment there between Gardner and McCoy. No idea what occurred, but I've seen the bikes pirouetting, dancing and jumping and bouncing in the distance there. So no idea what on earth happened, but something's seriously gone wrong there. And I very, very much doubt that those 2 gentlemen will be back on a motorcycle by the end of this video. So what on earth has gone on in today's Grand Prix? This Classic Championship has been filled with excitement. I am loving it so far. Really, really impressed. It has been completely unexpected. Now, when originally Dan O'Brien suggested this championship, I thought this was going to be fun. But I did not think it'd be this fun. Biaggi has now been beaten by Arbe, Lawson into 3rd place, Crivier into 4th, and Kevin Schwantz is hanging on for 5th place. And considering he had a bit of an excursion twice, one of them by being the aid of Wayne Rainey / punter, who kicked him off almost kicked him off into the final couple of corners. Not ideal, but we're still going for it. We do have a would-be attacker behind, but I don't think that's too much to concern ourselves right now. As long as he's not within 0.6 of a second, we'll just keep doing what we do best, and that's keep pushing forward. It's actually John Kaczynski on board the Kajiva, who's behind us in 6th place. So we now hold it right for turn 5. Again, a little bit of a difficult corner to get right. Feels like you can use a lot more acceleration on the exit there, but if you do that, you do tend to go over the rumble strip, or even into the gravel there. Just get ready to flick it left now for turn 7. Lovely, lovely corner. Get ready then to flick it right for turn 8. Beautiful, beautiful riding style from Kevin Schwantz. It's so old school, so classic, so retro. I love it. Now hold it left for the V corner. Shout out to the spot where I got the thumbnail, by the way. I think that's that corner there. I do recall taking the image there. So we are losing ground to John Kaczynski here. We've gone a little bit wide. Kaczynski could be well and truly be through. You know what? Just let him through. Well, he didn't take it. He certainly didn't take it. But at this point, he might as well just get through. I'm 0.6 of a second penalty, so he might as well just take it. We're on the penultimate lap here, ladies and gentlemen. I've not seen any sort of changes. No crashes as of yet. So we go wide for the 90-degree corner again. We need to let Kaczynski through. Just let him get past. And then use his bit of a twitch there on board the Suzuki. As we flick it right into the victory corner, Arbe still leads in his home Grand Prix. Lawson's up into 2nd, Biaggi down to 3rd, Crivier in 4th. Fingers crossed. No, Crivier's into the podium positions. We do not want Crivier to take the podium here, ladies and gentlemen. No, we do not. Keep Crivier away from the podium at all costs, at every cost, at many, many costs you can do. Couldn't even speak then, losing breath. Just do not want to get Alex Crivier onto the podium, because that then makes it even tighter for Kevin Schwantz to win this championship. And following Kaczynski in 6th place with a 0.5 of a second penalty is just not going to cut it. No, it's not. It certainly isn't. And in fact, Kaczynski's getting away from us. There's no way of regaining 5th place and potentially getting past. That's not going to happen here today. It's Kenny Roberts Jr. is doing a solid job in 7th place. Would like to see him a little bit further up the grid, but for the time being, that's all right. We are on to power setting 2 now. We're going to be using that last lap of fuel. We have a little bit extra in the tank. Get ready to flick it left for turn 7. Still nothing occurring at the front, no change of positions. And I do fear that Alex Crivier is going to get on the podium. Could be worse, so he could end up taking 2nd or even the victory. Fingers crossed that does not happen. No disrespect to Alex Crivier, but our biggest championship threats don't need. Now, at the end of the previous video in Brno, I mentioned that Norick Arbe could be a surprise contender for the championship here. And if he holds on and takes victory here today, he could very well, if my maths are correct, could be replacing Wayne Rainey for 3rd place in the championship. a very unlikely contender indeed. Well, it could very, very, very well be happening here in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We've only got a couple more corners to navigate. I'm guessing Abe is about there now. He's probably on the home straight, just after the victory corner. So let's see who wins in a moment's time. It's going to be... It is Norick Abe! Abe wins! I'm guessing Abe won ahead of Lawson and Crivier, so fantastic result for him. Kevin Schwantz takes a 6th place and he should still retain the championship lead. So the final results are shown now. Abe wins this race, Lawson 2nd, and Crivier takes 3rd place, denying Max Biaggi from his first podium of the season. Schwantz finishes in 6th. So Schwantz still leads the championship by just a measly 5 points, ahead of championship rival Alex Crivier. A further 37 over Norick Abe. He is now in 3rd place in the championship. And ladies and gentlemen, things are hotting up fast. So unfortunately guys, that's it, because there will be no podium celebrations for Kevin Schwantz. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.